Hello everybody and welcome to this video in which we are going to go over how to get input from users using Python. Very important. We love to have input from users. It makes our projects much more interesting and it makes them interactive. So let's just get straight to it, shall we? You can see I'm in a new Python file here. So maybe we just want to get the name from the user so then we can print back to them hello and then their real name. Okay, pretty cool. So let's set up a variable. We're going to call it name. So I'm an operator there and we're going to use input. Okay, like that, the input function there with these open and close brackets. Now this would already work, but the problem is the user doesn't actually know what they're supposed to input, right? And it's just like a blinking cursor. In fact, let me just come down and we're going to print it out, right? So we're going to say print, use the print function, print. We're going to use the string hello, right? Just a space there, close that string. Then we use concatenation. We're going to concatenate this to this because it's a string to a string. We can do that. If this sounds like mumbo jumbo, go and check out the string and integer data type technique card. It'll make a lot more sense once you've looked at that and watched the video, okay? Because we go over concatenation of strings and why it doesn't work with strings and integers. That's all in that technique card, string and integers in Python. Okay, but if you have watched it or if you understand it, okay, cool. So, or even if not, you should be able to pick it up anyway. You're smart enough, right? We're going to say, we're going to join, we're going to add, right? We're going to add the name variable there, and of course what's in the name variable, here's the magic, what's in the name variable will be whatever is returned from the input function. What does that mean? Okay, in other words, whatever the person puts in, whatever they type in, and then when they press enter, it gets stored in the variable name and we can then use it in our project. So if they put in Billy Bob, then Billy Bob, the string gets stored in name. If they put in, I don't know, Susie, then that gets stored in the name variable. So whatever they put in gets stored in there. Okay, and we've got to trust that the user is kind of, you know, sensible and all. But the problem is at the moment they actually don't know what to input. They'll just get a blinking cursor. So let's actually look at that. Let's save that and let's come over to the terminal here. We're going to run it in a terminal and see what happens. See, that's it. It's waiting for my input. I don't know what to input. What does it want me to input? I've no idea what I'm supposed to input. So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of my dinner. So I put in, you know, fish and chips. I'm thinking about fish and chips, whatever reason. But then it says hello fish and chips. That's not really my name, actually, to be fair. So we need to let the user know, and we're going to put a prompt. We're going to just put a prompt in here. So I'm going to put a string, and this will just be output to the screen. So whatever I type here will be output to the screen whilst it's waiting for the input to come in. So something like, what is your name? Okay, like that. Okay, see that prompt now is going to help the user. Let's save it, because when we come back, you'll see the difference. What is your name? And now I know it's nothing to do with fish and chips, right? So now I can put in my name, I don't know, Boris, okay? And it say, hello Boris. Let's run it again. Okay, what is your name? Not Boris this time. Lisa. And it'll say, hello Lisa. You see, and that, it just makes the project immediately more interesting for the user. Okay, thing to notice, input, the function input, the function, this thing, always returns a string data type. Important to remember that, okay? Because if you're doing like a project where you want numbers and you want to work with numbers which the person gives, maybe a times table game, you're going to have to think about that. You're going to have to change the string data type to an integer data type. Integer, remember, being whole numbers. Okay. Or floats if you're going down that. I'm not talking about those at the moment. Let's just stick to integers. So it's called to cast. To cast. We can cast string to integer. And we can cast integers to string and so on and so forth. We can mess around with different ways. But for our purposes, we're going to cast the string data type to an integer data type. So let's do age. So another variable assignment operator is equal to, going to use input, want to get input, and it's going to be the prompt, how old are you? A little bit rude maybe, but so what, we don't care. How old are you? And then we're going to put something like print next year you will be, and then we're going to do add onto, or actually no, we'll just do it, let's do it as an F string actually, to avoid any problems. If you don't know about those, you're going to say the same thing. Go and watch the video and check out the technique card on string and integer data types in Python. It's basic 101. You will, Python really, you will be, and in here we're going to put age plus 1 years old. Okay, like that. Okay, thanks for reminding me. Great, cheered me up. Wonderful, getting older and older still. Okay, so next year you will be age plus 1 years old. But here's the thing. At the moment, you can probably see this is going to cause an error because this, by default, input returns a, you got it, string data type. And here we're going, okay, a string data type, add an integer data type. String plus int doesn't work. We'll get a nasty error message, right? So let's just do it, and let's get rid of this so we don't have to waste time with all of that. Let's just cut straight to it. So save it, and yeah, we're going to get an error. I know, we know. Okay, we know it. So we put in, I don't know, 8. Okay, there we go, nasty error. Why? Type error can only concatenate string, not int to string. We know it. Okay, thank you computer for reminding us. So how do we get around it? We need to cast this to be an integer data type. To be honest, a simple way we can do that is just to overwrite age with age as an integer. So what I mean is we're going to do age again is equal to, and then we use int, this here, int, this function here, and then here we're going to put what we want to cast into an int, which at the moment is stored in age. All right, so it overwrites it. So it's going to overwrite age with age as an integer, okay? And hopefully not too confusing, all right? And now, when we do this, and we put in, let's do 8 again, it works, because it's now an integer data type. If that's a little bit confusing, what you could do, you could have something like age as int, something like that, if you really wanted to, right? Although it looks a bit weird to me, but you know, you can do what you like with these variable names, I guess. Age as int plus 1, so their age is this string, and then you got to say, okay, I'm going to take that string, age. Python always looks at the right side of this assignment operator first, so it does this first, and it says, okay, take this value, and then I'm going to, if I can, I'll cast it into an integer data type, and then I will assign it to this variable called age as int. And then down here, you can use it as an integer because it's now an integer. Let's just prove it works. Let's put a different number in this time, so 10. Okay, come back as 11, right? Okay, so that's another way you could do it. Or if you don't mind having some kind of, in my opinion, ugly looking syntax, right? Let's get rid of that because of course it no longer exists. You can just put the whole input into the int function, so int open brackets, and then at the end of it close the brackets, right? Like so. So you're just whacking it all into one liner, right? So you're putting this, the input is going inside int, if you can see that, right? It looks a bit ugly to me, but some people prefer it that way. So let's save it, and this time we run it, and what we put in here is going to be immediately cast into an integer data type, so it can work that way as well. You could do it that way as well if you prefer. So several ways you can do that, okay? One thing to remember about this is if you get a silly sausage as a user who does something like how old are you, and they put fish and chips, so they put something silly in here which is a string, it won't work. It's actually going to break your program because of course it doesn't work. It can't cast that into being an integer, and of course you will learn how to handle errors from silly users in other technique cards. For now we're going to work off the assumption that our users are smart enough and sensible enough that when it says how old are you, they put a number in. We're going to work off that assumption, okay? And then that will work, you see, like so. Okay, so that's how we can get input from users, and also we've gone a bit more than that, and we've spoken about how we can cast a string data type return from an import function into an int. And okay, have a go at some of the challenges. There are some fun ones, and as always, definitely use this in your projects, because the more you practice and the more you code with it, the better you'll get, and the more your memory will be able just to pull out all of these techniques that we're teaching you, and it'll just become second nature how to do all of this stuff. So don't worry if it seems a little bit overwhelming right now. Just crack on, just code more. Come back to this, reference it, technique card, code more, and it will become second nature, I guarantee it. All right, hope it was useful, hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.